Welcome to this week's look at the state of the New York City real estate market, where I take a look at the luxury market, the Manhattan market, and the Brooklyn market. I do it because I want you to be informed. It never hurts when you're a consumer to be informed. Welcome to this week's look at the state of the New York City real estate market. This is for the week of January 2nd to January 9th, 2023. We're going to start, as we always do, with the luxury market. But before I get into that, I want to thank the Olshan Report for their amazing reporting on the luxury market. Could not do what I do and bring you this news without them. So many thanks to the Olshan Report for their amazing work. Okay, we're going to get started now with the luxury market. Last week, there were 15 contracts signed at $4 million and above. That is 2 more than the previous week. It was really not an exceptional week this post-New Year's Day week. Condos outsold co-ops 11-2, and there were 2 townhouses in the mix. The number 1 contract was Penthouse 53 at 56 Leonard Street. It was asking $30 million. The condo is a full floor. It has 6,400 square feet. It includes 4 bedrooms, 4.5 bathrooms. There are 2 terraces totaling 1,708 square feet. The unit features 360-degree views. It has 14-foot ceilings. It's the 3rd sale of Penthouse 53 in the last 6 years. The seller purchased the unit in 2019 for $25 million, and in 2017 it closed for a little over $29 million, 4 years after a contract was sold back when it was still with the developer, so it sold from a floor plan. A little bit of information about 56 Leonard is a 60-story, 145-unit condo. It's designed like a glass obelisk by Pritzker Prize-winning architects Herzog and de Meuron. It has 17,000 square feet of amenities, including a 75-foot pool, indoor-outdoor theaters, landscape sun deck, fitness center, sauna, lounge, and a children's playground. The number 2 contract this time was a townhouse at 271 West 11th Street in the Village. It was asking $29.995 million. It's been on and off the market since 2017. It has gone through 3 different brokerage firms, and it started as high as $34.5 million. It's a 5-story, 25-foot wide house. It has a 112-foot deep garden. It's unusually large for a village townhouse. The lots are typically, they run between 95 and 100 feet deep. The house is divided currently into 12 units. It has 5 studios, 4 one-bedrooms, and 3 two-bedrooms, none of which are rent controlled or rent stabilized. The annual real estate taxes are a little over $160,000, and it has a bit of a claim to fame in that it is next door to Sarah Jessica Parker and Matthew Broderick and their 14,400 square foot mansion that's comprised of 2 townhouses. And they purchased that, if you're curious, in 2016 for $34.5 million. Okay, now we're going to take a look at the stats for last week. The total weekly asking price sales volume, 168,706,000. The average asking price, $11,247,067. The median asking price, $6,750,000. Average discount from original ask to last asking price, 4%. And the average days on the market, 648. Now, that is an impressive number of days on the market, even for the luxury market. You know, perhaps it is because 8 out of the 13 apartments that were contract this week they were new development. And so, as you've heard me say, those apartments tend to sit for a while, take a little while longer to sell. There were 3 units actually at Central Park Tower, 217 West 57th Street. Okay, that's it for the luxury market. Now we're going to take a look to see what happened in the Manhattan market last week. Okay, so what is going on in the Manhattan market at the beginning of 2023? Well, we continue to see a lot of the same things that we were seeing before: relatively low inventory, definitely far fewer contracts being signed, and we're seeing also a lot of off market properties. But I'm going to get into that in a little more detail, but we're going to start with the market ticker. And before I do, I want to thank Urban Digs for their data collection. The information that they provide helps me to help you. So, my thanks to Urban Digs for all of this data that I am bringing to you about the Manhattan and the Brooklyn markets market wide. Okay, so back to Manhattan. We're going to start with the market ticker, the 1 week look. This is all properties, all price points. As you can see, the supply really jumped 603 almost percent. 260 properties came on the market last week. There were 126 contracts signed, that's up 5%. And off market, that number also was up 174% to 348 off market properties. If we look at the 1 month look, we see, though, a slightly different story about the supply. It is down a little over almost 42%. Actually, 501 properties came on the market in the last month. 592 contracts were signed. That's up 1.37%. The off-market properties, 963. That is down, let's call it 2%. So if you look at this market pulse chart, we just took a look at those kind of quick stats for the week and for the month. We're really hovering in this neutral market. But as I mentioned last week in my recap of 2022, the thing that is really driving this neutral market is our lack of inventory. And the story will very likely change on that in the next 6 to 8 weeks when more properties come on the market, because we're definitely seeing a lot of off-market properties. We are definitely seeing a far reduced number of contracts signed. The thing that's keeping us kind of steady and in a neutral market in Manhattan, at least for the moment, are these off-market properties, low inventory in general, and let's not forget that the rental market, while the volume is down on that, the prices are holding pretty firm. As always, I like to share these more detailed charts with you because I know a lot of people really like to get into the details about the resupply pace, the monthly contract activity, the off-market properties, the days on market, price per square foot, median sale price, all of that. So here is all this information for this last month. And if you have any questions, please post them below because I'm happy to talk with you about any of these charts, actually, but specifically about these because it can be a little much. There's a lot of details there. All right, let's take a look at the Manhattan supply. Overall, 5,886 properties. That is down 1.2% year to date, down 13.4% from last month, and it's up just a little bit, 1.5% from last year. If we look at the pending sales, wow, okay. There are currently 2,329 pending sales in Manhattan. That is down 0.9% year to date, down 4.2% from last month, and down almost 41% from last year. That's what I mean about the sales activity being quite down. The Q4 numbers from 2022 are starting to get released, and what we're seeing, and I did share this chart with you last week, we're looking at condos here. This is the resale This is price per square foot, cannot sell co-ops by the square foot. So we're really looking at the condos. We're looking at the Manhattan market. We are looking at resale, not new development. And here's what we're seeing. There is this real mixed news going on from a price action standpoint. If you look at the very last number here, at the Q4 number for 2022, you will see, if you compare it with the third quarter of 22, the price per square foot, surprisingly, is up a little bit. Here we are, low inventory, lots of off-market properties, very reduced contract activity, pending sales, mixed news on the price action. So what is this all going to mean for 2023 for Manhattan? Obviously, it's a bit early to make too specific a prediction, but seems very likely that although we are currently in a neutral market, once more properties start coming on the market, unless we see buyers really jumping in with enthusiasm and we're back up to the where we were in the spring with those 1,400, 1,500 contracts being signed in a month, very likely we are going to see a shift in this market pulse to begin to be more of a buyer's market. Now, right now with prices, we can see that they were up quarter over quarter. However, from where they were in Q1, Q2, we know they're down somewhere around 5 to 7%. Now, every seller's different. So if you're a buyer and you're out there looking for opportunity, you might want to take a look at what's going on with how many days that property's been on the market. That will give you a little more leverage. Sellers, can't stress this enough. If you are a serious seller, you do need to price yourself in alignment with the market. If you position yourself as the best in class, you will very likely get your deal done in the first 30 days. You want to get that contract signed in the first 30 days of being on the market. That way, statistically speaking, you are likely to get your asking price. Sometimes you can get a little more, but you won't be looking at predatory buyer behavior where they're going to be coming in trying to offer you 10% off your asking price. Okay, that's a lot for Manhattan. Let's take a look now. We're going to shift over to Brooklyn. If you have any questions, please post them below. Let me know. Okay, now we're going to take a look at what's going on in Brooklyn. Frankly, I would say Brooklyn is just kind of hanging in there the way that Manhattan is hanging in there. Although I will say that Brooklyn overall, over 2022, definitely fared a little better than Manhattan in Q3, Q4. Brooklyn, the inventory was even tighter, and the contract activity, while it was down, did seem to hold pretty strong. So again, Brooklyn, also neutral market. Let's get into the details. We're going to start, as we always do, with the market ticker. And again, my thanks to Urban Digs for all of their amazing reporting. I could not bring you this news without the work that they do. Okay, 1 week look. We see that the supply is up 271%, 156 properties came on the market. The contract activity jumped a little bit too, 61% almost, 103 contracts. We also saw the off market pop up a little over 154%, 211. Again, this is what I mean about how the lower, relatively speaking, lower supply, and definitely those off market properties with this slight uptick in contracts being signed, at least from a 1 week perspective in Brooklyn, is keeping us pretty solidly in a neutral market. If we look at this 1 month look, that gives us just a little broader view, right? So 389 properties over the last month came on the market. That is down 35.27%. So there's that low inventory again. Contracts signed 404, down a little bit, 4%. And the off-market properties up 32% for the month, 489. So here's this market pulse chart. Take a look at this. As I said, if you look at the end of this chart, you will see we are pretty solidly in this neutral territory in Brooklyn. If we were to compare these two charts together, Manhattan and Brooklyn, you'd see that, while Brooklyn did have this decline, as Manhattan did, you can see that Brooklyn also had a decline, as did Manhattan. However, it kind of leveled out before it dipped too far, before it actually, frankly, ever even got into buyer market territory. So right now, the market pulse is showing a pretty solid neutral market again. In the next 6 to 8 weeks, when properties start coming on the market, could be a different story in the market pulse, because the contract activity is also going to have to rise commensurately in order to keep us in that neutral market. Okay, here are those detailed charts for Brooklyn: the supply, the pending sales, the monthly contract activity, price per square foot, days on market, listing discounts. Any questions about that, please post it below. I'm happy to answer them. If we take a look at the overall Brooklyn supply, right now we're at 2,758 across the market, all property types, all price points. That is down a little over 4% year to date. It's down 14.5% from last month, and it's down 13.1% from last year. The pending sales, 1,646, that is down 0.8 year to date, down 6.2% from last month, and down 38.1% from last year. So you can see in Brooklyn last year, as with Manhattan, we definitely had much higher pending sales, and we're just not seeing that right now. So, okay, that's it for this week's look at the state of the New York City real estate market. If you have any questions, please reach out to me, post them below. Feel free to subscribe if you find this kind of reporting helpful to you. If you're looking to buy or sell, or currently a property owner in New York City and you want to know how this market is affecting your position, this kind of information should be very, very helpful to you. As always, feel free to share these videos with people you think they might be helpful to. All right, I will see you next week. In the meantime, take care.